Well, hello everybody, how you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the shuck. And as promised, I'm doing a full sharpening on this little beauty. This is the Worksharp Field Sharpener. Now it has two categories of ceramic stone, a fine and a rough. It's got a smooth, and then it's got, sorry, that's the smooth diamond and that's the rougher diamond. I'm not sure what these are. I would say it's probably about 400 or something like that. Not sure. And then it's got a strap on the back of it. So this is just such a compact thing. Let me just give you a wee measurement on it. Overall, it's just under 7 inches, and it is about 1.5 inches deep at its deepest point here. So compact, can go anywhere in your little day bag if you wanted to take it with you. But to me, I would say this is more going away for a weekend or going away for 2 weeks holiday, and you want to be able to put a good edge on your knives, and you're not a hand sharpener, and you're not very, you don't want to take a whole system with you. This is the baby. To me, it is fantastic. I've had little use on it, but what use I've had, I sharpened this knife here, which is my little Navaja. I sharpened this on it. Fantastic. Just brings an edge back in no time at all. Sometimes you don't even need the rough, depending on how dull your knife is. And I'm always a proponent of don't let your knife get dull first before you sharpen it. So this is one of my 2 for Tuesday. It's this little Navaja, but the one I'm going to concentrate on is this one that I found on Etsy over here in the UK. And I got this for $23.40 delivered. I just think it is super. I love that Spanish blade. This is made by a fella called Gomez Albecia. So I just love it. It is just a beautiful, it's just a plastic handle, but very solid. There's nothing light or feathery about it. There's nothing, it's just, I just seen and I had to have it because I love this blade shape, this Spanish blade shape so much. And this one's got even more belly. So a great EDC. It's a bit bigger as well. So I'm going to use this to sharpen it. This and nothing else. Now, I was going to do the sharpening yesterday, and I know I'm going on a bit, but it's a story I'd feel as though I had to tell. I went to do sharpening. It is so fat down this end. It had been really badly sort of sharpened by whoever had it beforehand. I am not doing any sort of refit on this. I'm not going to extend the choil. I'll probably do that later on my own time, but I just want to get a good sharp working edge on it because that's all it's going to be. This is going to be like a beater knife to me, but a beater knife with a bit of class. A bit of class. So I'm going to bring you down here and we're going to do the sharpening. Now I'm going to do it holding the sharpener up off any surface. I'm going to put my elbow on the table because if I was sitting in a chair in the front room, that's how I would sharpen. So I want this to be as realistic as possible, and I want to get a really good edge on it. But first, because I had to put an edge, because there was no edge at all. It was nearly rounded over. It was nearly like it was a display knife and not used. So I had to put an edge. Now, yesterday I used my cheap, and this is all about cheap sharpening. Cheap 400 grit stone and my strop. And this is it just off the 400 grit stone. It will cut, but it's rough. It's pretty rough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this 400 grit stone. But I wanted to put so there was an edge on it. This is not for a complete reprofile, or I wouldn't use it for a profile. I'd want a bigger stone or a system to get a reprofile. So I just wanted to put an edge on so that it's something to start this with, because this is a resharpening of something you've just used to make it go dull. And that literally there was no edge. There's now just at least an edge that I can use to follow. So I'm going to now do that horrible thing where, and I know that some people hate that sound, can't think why. Now, I'm just showing you what it's like. It's very rough, okay? That's good enough. I mean, I'll never dull a knife that much, in everyday use. Very, very, very rarely. More in my bushcraft days, something like that, I would have done it, but in real life, I don't do it. So it's pretty blunt. And it just needs a resharpen, and that's what this is for. Keep your blade sharp. I mean, if you have it sitting down by your chair at night, you don't even have to go to the rough side. Just go to the smooth diamond, start there, ceramic strop, should be a perfect edge. That's what it's meant to do. So let's see if it does it. So you've got on either side of this, there's ramps and they're 20 degrees. Okay, so all you're doing is you're going to set your knife down on that 20 degrees, set it there, and from start to finish, go up the knife. Just go up the sharpener, the diamond. And you just repeat it until you get a really good edge. Now I'm going to start on the rough side because there's some really dull bits on this. So I'm going to give it a few strokes in this. And then before I move from the rough stone to the smooth stone, it has to cut. That is the whole point to sharpen. Don't move to the next stone until your knife can cut at the previous stone. Honestly, that is the best tip I can ever give you. Don't try to rush it and move on too early. Don't do that. Make sure your blade is cutting from tip to toe. And I've got plenty of paper here that I can use to cut with. So I've paper there to cut with, and I'll move you down now and we'll do a full sharpening. I don't think it's going to take that long because, in all honesty, I don't think this blade steel is absolutely fantastic, and it doesn't have to be. It's just an EDC knife for EDC work. So I'm going to sit with this. There's a little thumb hole here that you can put your thumb in. I'm sitting with a finger underneath it, but everything is out of the way, so I'm not going to cut myself. You should be in control of the knife no matter what you're doing. And if you don't feel this comfortable to do, put it down on something. Don't take a risk. Feel comfortable no matter what you're doing. So it is just as simple as setting it down, and I don't have to think. I just keep it at that angle and I just draw it across like that. You don't want to run this off the edge because you'll round your edge. So it's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's me started. So I've got the bases of it going, so I'm going to set it down there, 1. And set it down in this one, 1. Now, I hope you're all doing well. And the other thing that I want to mention, I sharpened this by hand, which is not 20 degrees, but I want to show you when you're just wanting to get an edge on your knife, you don't have to necessarily follow the angle. If you want to get your knife nice and fancy, yes, but if it's just a working knife, it doesn't matter if you've got different degrees on your knife. Just keep doing it the same on this, and it will put the edge on your knife, but it will not profile at that exact edge. That's something you can do in your fixed angle, or if you're happy on stones. So let's give it a few strops now. Let's see what it's like now. Isn't that really, that's really good. Hey, there you go. Little bit of rough bits, but nothing much. So that's cutting. I'm happy to say that that is cutting. So now, because you don't want to take too much metal off your blade. That's not what this is about. As soon as you can get off that rough one, get on the other one. But when I say as soon as, when it's sharp, and that is sharp now. So I can quite happily turn it over onto the finer side. And this looks to be about 1,000 grit, maybe a little bit more. So I'll set that there. So you'll notice I haven't had to do anything great. I just set it on that there and follow it down. 1, and I just do it either side now until I'm sure that I've got that nice angle. And I'm not putting any pressure on it. I'm just letting it do all the work. And don't rush. There is no rush. You're doing this. This is pleasure. Do not have to rush it. Oh, get my little stone down there. So you're not rushing. You're just keeping it down, and you want to keep that blade nice and level. You're literally holding it the angle that it sets it there. And I enjoy doing this. I enjoy getting different things. This one is Judd, and he lent it to me so I could have a go at it, because it's not one I've used. I mean, I'm a freehand sharpener, so I don't necessarily need this, but if I'm in a little hotel room, why wouldn't I just sit while I'm watching the TV, or I'm away on a holiday in a tent, just sit down in the tent and I can do this. I don't have to have all the stones or wet stones, and it's just a simple but enjoyable process for me. I really enjoy doing and enjoy finding different Sharpening systems. I've had so many over the years, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. You just keep doing what you enjoy. This is a hobby, and finding a new. And I'm starting to feel that edge. So this steel is probably I think it's stainless, to be honest with you. It would have more patina on it for the age of it. So sorry, I've got those are the hiccups there. So this actually looks to be doing such a lovely job. I can feel the edge, and you'll do that. And that's what people say, you feel the stones. Once you get down to this fine stone, you can feel where the stone is going. It's just, you can feel it's getting sharper and it's getting smoother. That rough side puts a, and this is up higher than I would normally sharpen, but 20 degrees is fine for most knives that you're going to use. Now, if anybody else in the talk box there, if you've used this and you like it, I find it very hard to put it down on that 20 degree because I'm so used to doing it myself. I'm finding it difficult to just hold it, move, get it down, hold it, move, get it down, hold it, move. So I'm really finding that a difficult task. That's how difficult it is, just to let it do the work, because I keep wanting, my hand keeps wanting to go down further, because that's the way I sharpen. I normally sharpen anywhere from 17 to 15, usually about 17 on most budget, or not budget knives, but on most EDC knives. Usually about 17 is where I like it. So let's just see how I'm doing, because I have no idea. It's actually getting quite a shine on that. And that's right. Well, there we go. Let's just see. I don't want to go too early. I mean, that's as fast as you need to go. And that's sharp enough now. That's sharp, and I can move on to the next stage. And that's what's nice. You don't have to take a lot of steel off. You're trying to get it done, but wait till it's sharp and then move on to the next one. So now I'm going to go to the rougher ceramic, and it's got little fine lines down it here. You'll probably not see that, but you see it's fine lines. So I'm going to do the same. Now it has got exactly the same. It's got 20 degree edges here, so you just set it on them 20 degrees. Is that 20? It looks a bit more. Let me just check. It must be 20 degrees. So I'll just hold it up here, and then I'm just going to go down. That's exactly the same. Set it on that edge. Set it on that edge. And you can see now no pressure. When you're doing these ceramics, you don't want to put any pressure on your knife. And you can see the stone now is marked where it's taken. It does take some metal off the knife, but it's fine. You know, it's really, really fine grits. It's not wearing away your blade. So there's that stone now. We've gone to that stone. How does this look? Can you see there yet? Do you want to know something? I think I moved that too soon because I wanted to. I'm trying to G on, so I'm going to go back. This is where it was cutting, but it's not smooth as I wanted. I'm going to go back to the fine diamonds. And again, this is what happens in real life. Do you know what I mean? It just happens in real life. So I'm going to go back. I think I was not getting it on that flat. I need to slow down a bit and just get it right. Get it right. And again, I think sometimes just when you're going too fast, things go wrong. Let me just see that. And thank you for everybody who actually voted for the long thing, because I think if you start to try and chop and change, I mean, I would have cut that bit out there, and really, you know, it shouldn't be cut out, because that's sometimes you do. Even though I was talking about don't rush, and then I went and done it myself, and it's what we all do. We get impatient. We don't want to wait too long. So I'm going to see how this is now. I feel as if I've took my time a wee bit more, and we're on the right angle now. Now let me just see what this is like. That's better, isn't it? Can you hear that? That's much better. That's okay. So I'll go to this now. I'll move on to this stone. And that'll hopefully take any little bits of burr that was on the knife. But because we're doing back and forward motions, you don't tend to get a burr. You might get a rough end or a little bit that you miss. Or so this should do it. So I'm going to go from there. I don't need to do that. And let's go to the fine. Oh, you have to go right round to the fine. And this is the one that Justin has used the most. You can see it's the, you know, it's got use on it. So we'll do this. That's better. I don't know whether I like that rough. I don't know whether I like the rough ceramic. This fine just feels like what I use on, you know, what I normally use, the big Spyderco. See, I'm not touching. I keep doing that. If you're a hand sharpener, you do something like this, you really want to find your own edge, and you move down to where your hand feels comfortable. Slap it back up. Give it a good slap and get it back up again to this, the edge degree that they're putting here for you to follow. Really am a sneaky boy. I keep doing it. It's unintentional, but I genuinely keep slipping back up again. And I can really see that edge. I don't know where you can see that edge. It's polishing now. But what I want to see is if it's sharp, never mind the polishing. That is just absolutely fantastic. And this is not probably the best steel in the world, but it's now a working best steel in the world. And I'm just going to finish it off by going onto the strop, which is on the back side of this. You just load it with whatever compound. I think it comes with green compound. I think that's what's on it. So I'm going to do this. That gives you an angle at the back here to hold when you go up, and then you go across in that angle. Set it down here and you just slide it up and go at that angle. Keep that angle. Again, you want the strop to follow the angle you're sharpening. I think there's a knack to it, and once you get the knack, it will make it more. I think I'm probably making it look a bit clumsy. See, I'll go straight to go and put my own hand on. But with stropping, I mean, you don't have to be exact with stropping. You just have to go nice and light. That's the whole thing. Not try to, just nice and light. And that should take any little remaining edge off your knife. Now, let's see what that looks like. I mean, that's as clean as it comes, you know. I mean, I'd be happy with that with any knife. That is a lovely sharp knife. It's a cheap steel, but it took an edge lovely. So I would say it's probably somewhere in the region of a 400 series knife. It'll probably not hold that edge forever, but to be honest with you, it'll do me all my day. I can't see me blunting this in a day. Really, really can't. It's not something I would worry about at all. See if I've got anything here. Then I can just... No, I haven't got anything there. Sorry, I haven't got any I was going to do it by cardboard cutting. But no, that is honestly as sharp as I would need it. Really, really lovely. Really impressed with that. So what do I think of this? I think this is about £36 here in the UK. I think even for somebody like myself, I will get one of these, because to go away like down the caravan, I'm only going down for a couple of days. I don't want to take all my stones down with me. Like I have my, I use mostly diamond stones these days, so I'll have my big ceramic. That's that version of that. I'll have my strops, a couple of different diamond stones, and I'll take that down. But if I'm just going down for a couple of days, why take all that down? That'll do perfectly. Going away for the weekend, this is perfect. If you want to keep something in your front room, which is where I tend to do most of my sharpening at night, I have a little small system in there, a little small stone and a strop that I've just started making my own little ones. And it's fantastic just to sit at night, and most of the time the only thing I'm going to be doing at night time is this strop. And I know I should put it down the side, but I can quite happily follow the angle there. That little strop is fine. I can see the strop actually taking the material, and that is just what I'll do most nights after I finish the day's work with a knife, so that when I get up tomorrow morning and I want my knife, it's there from the word go. Perfect. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know I'm a bit of a higgledy-piggledy sort of a chap, but it's getting the knife sharp. It's not how you do it. It's not what equipment. It's not how much money. This is £36 that I think you'll not regret whatsoever. It's a fantastic little system. You can also take these off for arrowheads. You can use that to unscrew the arrowheads. Not something I've ever done. But on this side, you would take that off. There's a little instructions in there, but there's little, you could put a bit of fire starter or anything in that there. If you go on bushcrafting or camping, you can put anything in there you want, and that just keeps that there. And once you finish sharpening, to keep these good, you just turn them over, because it's magnetic. Turn them over. Oh, there we go. And then it keeps your diamonds from getting battered or scored. There you go. Safe and sound. I love that. Really, really love it. Super little thing. Highly recommend it. Thank you, Justin, so much for letting me borrow it and use it. I will clean it up before it goes back to you. But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was nice to get to see just a simple tool done well. It's a simple tool done really well. That hadn't clicked in. No, there, that's perfect now. It's just, that's solid. It's not going anywhere. You're not going to have rattling in your back. Just a perfect tool. So, Worksharp field sharpener, absolutely fantastic. There's going to be one of them in my very near future, I would say. And for Tuesday, Tom, sorry I didn't get time to do another one. It's the two Spanish Navajas. One with a little fancy locking. To lock it, you pull up this little tab, push it forward, pull it back, and then it closes. Really old style of locking system with that. It's on that metal spring that's on the outside, which it just runs on two pivots here. I just think it's super. And then this newest one I got cost me £24. It's got a plastic handle, but it's a solid plastic handle. Beautiful blade shape. So that is my two for Thursday, two Spanish Navajas. Thank you very much. And now the Sharp, because of the this Worksharp field sharpener. Fantastic tool. So let me bring you up to show me old bake. I know I'm a bit rough and ready. I know I'm not spiffed. Like you can go on to Neve's Knives and all. He is so good at showing it, and I recommend you going to him. But this is just to let you know, I want to stick more on the basic sharpening, on the cheaper systems that I use that I know are good. I mean, yes, I have other systems I can use. I love oil stones or whetstones, Japanese. I have them up there, and yes, I use them when I've got a nice fancy knife, and that's what I want to use. But most of the time, and I think it's the same with most people, I just want to get a knife sharp so it's ready for the next day. And the least time it takes me, the least mucking about it takes me, I will do it. Because if you make it complicated, you won't do it. I'll give you a wee go maybe next week on my little system that I've now built for my front room, and I'll show you that. But that sitting down by your bench, or your seat in the front room, perfect. Lift it, take it away with you for the weekend. Right, I've said enough. I'm now saying to send things 5 times. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much. I hope you like it and it's not too hard to follow. Have a nice day. Bye now.